Let's dive right into this explainer on breaking the dopamine cycle, specifically looking at the realistic, totally guilt-free science of resetting your family's screen habits. If you've been feeling, just completely overwhelmed by that constant digital pull in your house, you are absolutely in the right place. Today, we're tossing out the guilt trips, we're tossing out those impossible parenting standards, and we're zeroing in on what actual research says about retraining our kids' brains and, let's be honest, our own brains too.
So, do you have that perfectly pristine, tech-free home? Yeah, us neither. Let's just shatter that whole Instagram-perfect parenting illusion right out of the gate. You know the expectation, right? It's that beautifully minimalist house where kids are cheerfully reaching for a paperback book instead of a tablet. But the reality? Well, it's phones frantically hidden in drawers, endless negotiations, and those all-too-familiar 10-minute meltdowns. I am definitely not going to stand here and promise some magic fix that gives you that perfectly curated life. We haven't figured it all out either. But we are going to look at what breaking the cycle actually looks like in the trenches of a real lived-in house.
Section 1. The Perfection Illusion. Why we need an honest version of change. Because honestly, for the longest time, I thought progress had to look perfect, and it absolutely does not.
Real progress is not about perfection. It's messy. It literally looks like this. My phone goes in a drawer at dinner. Not every night, most nights. And guys, that is what breaking the dopamine cycle actually looks like. It's simply about remembering to stash the phone away the majority of the time, building up that muscle, and crucially, forgiving yourself when you inevitably slip up. It's an honest, hey, we're in the thick of it kind of story, rather than some magical overnight transformation.
Moving on to waiting out the craving, the science of the meltdown. This is where we pivot from our behavioral expectations to what's actually happening inside the brain when we finally turn that screen off. 2 to 5. That right there is your critical window. Neuroscientists tell us that the intense dopamine craving, that overwhelming, I need it now urge to get back to the screen, usually peaks and then passes in literally just 2 to 5 minutes once you interrupt it. Knowing that this massive neurological spike actually has a super short lifespan, it completely changes how you look at the freakout that usually follows.
Which brings us to this incredibly simple yet ridiculously difficult piece of advice. Just wait. When the iPad turns off and your kid launches into a total meltdown, your only job is to sit there with that feeling instead of caving in. And look, 10 minutes of that is brutal. It feels like an absolute eternity. But because we know that actual neurochemical craving usually wraps up in that 2 to 5 minute window, the urge will fizzle out. You just have to hold the line and wait it out. It does pass.
And while you're agonizingly waiting, you really don't need some perfectly scripted super parent response. It can just be you saying exactly this. I'm bored too. Let's be bored together. I know it sounds totally ridiculous to say out loud, but honestly, it kind of works like magic. You're co-regulating with them. You're helping their little nervous systems chill out by sharing the weight of that gross, uncomfortable feeling, instead of immediately rushing to fix it with a screen. You're just validating the reality of a dopamine drop.
Next up, the fake dopamine trap, who you are really up against. Let's talk about your actual opponent here, because I think it's time we finally let go of all that heavy parental guilt.
If you ever feel like you're completely failing at this, you really need to step back and look at the sheer scale of what's happening behind that glass. Think about the Goliath you are facing. On one side, it's just you, running on fumes, trying to rely on sheer willpower at the end of a very long day. On the other side, it's products backed by literally billions of dollars, engineered by some of the smartest minds on the planet. They are explicitly, purposefully designed to make putting that screen down feel impossible.
So the absolute most crucial takeaway here is this. We are not going to out-willpower that, period. Trying to just enforce deprivation through strict discipline and white-knuckling it, it's a losing battle. The deck is totally stacked against you and your kids. And you know what? Recognizing that is not a defeat. It is a massive, massive relief. It just means we need to get smarter and find a completely different strategy. Which leads us to real pleasure and replacement rewiring the cycle. Instead of just endlessly fighting the technology and focusing on what we have to take away, let's look at the actual scientific framework for rewiring this whole cycle.
This brilliantly captures the research of neuroscientist Dr. Michaeleen Doucleff. Her work shows that the solution isn't deprivation, it's replacement. As she says, the answer isn't taking pleasure away from children, it's bringing real pleasure back. We literally have to replace that cheap, fake screen dopamine with the real deal.
Now you might be wondering, what on earth does real pleasure actually mean? Well, it means tapping into the ancient kinds of pleasure that the human brain was literally built to crave. We're talking connection pleasure, movement pleasure, creation pleasure. We have to purposefully reintroduce genuine embodied joy back into our family's daily life. Because think about it, our brains didn't evolve for millions of years to get deep, lasting satisfaction from swiping on a brightly colored app, right? They evolved to be deeply rewarded by these fundamental, real-world human experiences.
Making this swap is actually incredibly practical. Instead of relying on digital rewards, we substitute that with cooking a meal together. Instead of passive, mind-numbing scrolling, we make the choice to go outside. We're swapping out virtual stimulation for physical, face-to-face social connection. By doing everyday things together, whether that's baking cookies or just going for a walk, we are actively replacing a fake dopamine hit with a reward that is genuine, deep, and actually felt in the physical body. That right there is how you break the cycle.
Finally, let's look at embracing imperfect progress, the realistic goal. As we start wrapping up this explainer, we really need to redefine what success actually looks like for your family.
Here is your core message of hope. And I'm talking about the realistic, messy kind of hope, not the perfectly curated Instagram kind. The dopamine system can absolutely be retrained. Seriously, you haven't ruined anything. But the secret ingredient, it takes consistency, not perfection. It takes putting the phone in the drawer most nights. It takes white-knuckling it through that messy 10-minute meltdown most of the time. As long as you keep showing up and keeping at it, you are actively rewiring those dopamine pathways.
Ultimately, our goal here is simply to build a vibrant life alongside the technology. We are not trying to banish it entirely and live in the woods. We're just trying to infuse enough genuine joy, enough movement, and enough real connection into our days so that the screen becomes just one option for entertainment, rather than the only option. If the tablet is just one of many different things your kids enjoy doing, boom, you have succeeded. It doesn't have to be flawless. It doesn't mean everything is permanently fixed. It just has to be a little bit more real than it was yesterday.
If you can find a balance that feels just a little more real, a little more human, and a bit more connected than before, I promise you that is absolutely enough. So, armed with the knowledge that you do not need a minimalist, tech-free utopia or a flawless execution plan, what does breaking the cycle look like starting tonight in your very real, wonderfully imperfect house?